Hey, church, this is Vince Miller. Thank you so much for joining me for another devotional. Big shout out to all those guys I met in Jackson, Tennessee yesterday. Loved getting to know you. I pray that my message and our time was a blessing to you. Today we're going to be in John chapter 17. I'm going to read verse 1 as I did yesterday, of course. Sometimes I get stuck on these verses because there's so much good stuff there. So listen to this. It reads, "When Jesus had spoken these words, he lifted his eyes to heaven and said," so he's praying, he said, "Father, the hour has come. Glorify your Son, that the Son may glorify you." So Jesus' first call in the great high priestly prayer is this: Father, the hour has come. These words are important and essential because they're not words of resignation to some unknown plan, an unknown hour, but words of resolve that the moment, the hour planned before the dawn of time was now upon them. You see, throughout John's story, Jesus had alluded to this hour. Remember the wedding at Cana in Galilee when his mother requested his intervention? What did he say? He stated, "My hour has not yet come." And along his journeys with the disciples, he reiterated this message. My hour has not yet come. Read John chapter 7, verse 30, and then John chapter 8, verse 20. But now he declares the moment has come. The hour has come. Because Jesus knew his work required one more act: sacrificing his life for human sin. In fact, all his miracles and teachings, no matter how effectual at this point, would remain ineffectual until a sacrifice was offered. Only through that act could all things that we made wrong by our sin could be made right by his sacrifice. And this hour, fellas, was predetermined. It was not some accidental moment. The Father and the Son had discussed it and planned it before time began. Jesus knew exactly when it was to happen, which, by the way, should terrify us. I mean, it should. It terrifies me. This means that there was nothing that had not happened in Jesus' life that he did not know before it happened. I mean, he knew how and when his disciples actually believed. He knew that Judas was going to betray him. He knew that the disciples would run during the time of his arrest and flogging and death. And he knew death and resurrection were necessary to offer penance for our sin and produce visible evidence of his defeat of sin and death. You see, his hour is our hour. His hour of sacrifice is our hour of salvation. This hour was the most effectual hour this planet has ever known. And guess what? Each day a believer gets to encounter these smaller little moments or hours. We are given moments to choose. We can either choose to cling to our will and way, or in that hour surrender to his will and his way. And if we embrace these moments with the same resolve as Jesus, we will see them, maybe in a shadow of how Jesus saw his hour, as God-glorifying moments. So fellas, today, choose God's will over yours. Deepen your relationship with the all-knowing Father and his Son, who proclaimed, the hour has come. I love you guys. I pray this has blessed you today. If it has, share it with someone else. And as always, live all in for him who lived all in for you.